kind of just let it play out before we do an RFC, just seeing what folks on Discord say, and then we can put it into an RFC to really start synthesizing what the potential. I think the biggest point of interest I receive is, okay, how do DNOs, how does this translate into helping with the funding, into controlling the funding, or making sure that there is oversight and a very good synergy, but also we don't want to run every decision through DNOs. I mean, there has to be a level of alignment with Ren Foundation, where Ren Foundation functions as any other entity, right? With leadership, with duties and KPIs and whatnot. So that's sort of the gray area that I think I'm taking a reasonably good stab at trying to um, degloss it. But obviously that, I just want to make sure I don't post something that you guys were like, oh, okay, I could have Googled this. So that's sort of where I'm like, yeah, that's sort of the part that I'm trying to copy as much from Rook DAO as possible, which is, they have a pretty good guy, a legal guy, Guard, that's his name, and hopefully we can maybe get a meeting with him. I've been talking to Wes about that, but again, I wouldn't want to reach out to him if we don't have something concrete that he can at least give us a consult. So it's still up in the air as far as that, but overall, it's pretty good interest on this doc.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of, um, there might be suggestions that aren't compatible with whatever Swiss foundation we're trying to set up. Any ideas are welcome here. It will have to be some kind of long asynchronous discussion with you guys, and sort of what we are able to do from a legal point of view, because like we're also in the position of discovering how these things work. We're working together with lawyers to set up the Swiss entity. So it's complicated and it's hard to know. Like none of us are lawyers, even, and then we're dealing with this uh, crypto aspect where we have decentralized protocols and node operators who, can node operators can do what they want with their nodes, for instance. This is not something anyone can force anyone to change. Let's say there is some hard fork that we're all suggesting to do. We have to update to a specific node version. No one can force node operators to update because that's only the node operator who can do that. So it's very complicated, these things. So it doesn't matter if any discussion or forum thread that you post is half baked or it's not fully researched out. Like anything is great to get out there so we can start discussing. Right now we don't have a forum thread, for instance. So just starting a forum thread, that's great, regardless of how fully complete it is. So yeah, I'm very happy and thankful that you're working on this, seeking. Yeah, we will of course also provide more information as soon as we know more. Um, so we just really need to get the ball rolling in the community on this topic. Whatever ideas and suggestions the community has, uh, please voice them as soon as possible so we also know that this during the setup process, because we're in the middle of this process, and it will take time. Um, so any input right
And
now
are we
is useful.
still? Is the timeline Ren max for rents? Is this still 12 months based on what Susrith mentioned? That's sort of a priority, like a rough outline, trying to get this done in a year, more or less. Is that still sort of the priority, or is it a little shorter now, like 6 months, as far as sort of concluding or getting the meat of this process done?
The foundation is as in a much shorter time frame than that, I believe.
Okay, perfect.
Um, yeah, I mean, Rent 2.0 is one thing, but the foundation that can be set up I don't know how long time it takes to set up these things, but it's in the works, and it shouldn't have to take 12 months.
Sure,
Maybe it gets
that's
stretched out
priority.
to 3 6 months due to like you have to do some bureaucratic work, signing a lot of papers and stuff. But this is not 12 months; it's shorter than that.
Perfect. Okay, then I feel comfortable committing to publishing the first draft by this Friday then. I feel comfortable. They probably won't be as finalized as I wanted, but yeah, if it's that important and that urgent, absolutely. I think we can definitely get the convo going from other folks that might have different experience or other pretty cool, data that I didn't come across. So yeah, you guys will see the post on the DAO governance for Friday. Yeah, for both actually, for a kind of like a generic governance, and another one specifically when it comes to exploring the Ren Foundation, Ren DAO, Ren Labs synergy. Three different entities, but obviously there has to be a level of alignment for the success of Ren. So that I feel comfortable publicly sharing that with you guys. Yep.
Amazing, super excited and thankful for that. Um, yeah, that's all I can say. Great.
Cool, cool, cool. Oh, Wes is here. Hi, Wes. Thanks for organizing this. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad to be here. I got distracted with some other things, but happy to be here and facilitate conversation.
Yeah, we just started talking about the post that was made today, but we could talk about anything, I think. Um,
Could you link that post in the chat somewhere? I haven't seen this.
yes, let me get to that. Um, just a sec. I posted it in the calls text channel.
Perfect. Yep.
Awesome. I'll give it a read right now. But besides that, what was being discussed here? Does anyone have ideas about Ren and moving forward and things of that nature?
We've just discussed that for now. Yeah, we made like the Ren 2.0 post that we could talk about. We could talk about anything you guys want to do, in terms of the working groups we have, yield ups, marketing. Does anyone have anything especially interesting that we should talk about right now?
I'll take a stab. For those following the marketing efforts, there's a RFC coming up. Cowboy, who was kind of elected leading volunteer of that effort, pretty good guy. He might make it later, he might not. He's been working, and we mostly him. I've helped him a little bit, but mostly him as far as a pretty cool RFC, and kind of trying to bring his vision into what sort of like organic marketing, strategic marketing when it comes to Ren. There's an RFC coming up rather soon, I believe, and one of the biggest sort of roadblocks that we hit was, as we strategized on how to best create this RFC, we said, well, it's a little hard to do this without the bigger governance structure, right? So we hit like a what comes first dilemma, right? Whether it's the chicken or the egg. And, obviously this RFC is, I think, an effort, a good faith effort, where kind of he shares his overall vision of what some organic effort for marketing for Ren, understanding that there's some limitations and there's a general governance framework that's needed. That's sort of where I'll be doing a different post, like a generic blanket one. But we kind of wanted to get the marketing share with you guys, just to kind of similar to what Max was saying, just to get overall feedback, get some feelers, I know Cowboy has been doing some. He has been investing some of his funds into some organic research, and he has gotten some hits. I mean, pretty good stuff as far as native advertising in Web3 with the Ren VM terms. It's pretty cool stuff. But that's forthcoming, I believe, in a matter of days, if not hours. So just keep your eye out there. We are definitely interested in kind of getting y'all's feedback. I mean, if there's any other marketing mavens here, that would be great. And we understand that there's, it's different organic groups, right? Like the EO ops, the comms group, the marketing group. Um, I know Renfield, we spoke a few weeks ago, I think. The EO ops is still alert, seeing opportunities. Obviously, in a bear market, things get a little challenging in general, but things are happening organically, and obviously, any good ideas from folks that are just kind of passively observing and want to chime in or share anything, please all go ahead and do it. We all read it, so that's always very, very important for sure.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at it on the forum right now, and I can approve it. I just need Cowboy to provide the authors and scope. So I just notified Cowboy about providing those details, and then I'll approve it. Um, so it's ready.
Perfect.
I believe he posted it. Um,
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, he that was mostly him, to his credit, really, really thoughtful. And once he wraps it up, just let's all chime in and kind of, that's as weird as it might sound, just share your idea, share your thought, and we kind of all will just process it to get started, right? And obviously, marketing is important, but we can't really have marketing without sort of like an overall grand vision, and that's sort of where the RenDAO efforts come in, and the synergy that Max is sharing, that Ren Labs and Ren Foundation wants to have with RenDAO. I mean, that's perfect. That's amazing. That's exactly what we need, and obviously we're all doing our part to get to that part over the next few days, weeks, months.
and it's especially exciting for me because it's important, like for the future of Run, that there is a there is a distinction between RenDAO, Ren Labs, and Ren Foundation.
Yes.
And Ren Labs kind of has to, not control RenDAO, obviously. So it is up to community members to, you know, eh, run RenDAO in a way. It can't sort of be pushed too much by the team, because then everything is basically centralized. That's not what we want to build, and we don't want to have that control anyway. Ultimately, we want to be able to sleep at night knowing that Ren is working. I mean, so whatever development we do, that the protocol and ecosystem is getting governed by network operators and community members without us having to, micromanage everything. Um, so initiatives like this is amazing. I mean, it means that I can feel less stressed, for one thing.
We don't want you to get a heart attack, Max. We
Yeah,
need you healthy. So
yeah,
yeah, share the stress.
yeah. And it seems like Cowboy is also active right now. So whenever I think that this forum post will be posted maybe in 5 minutes, and I can link it in the calls text channel whenever that's done. But is there any like details you want to share about it, like the grand, like highlights, just high level overview? Uh, if you
Sure.
have that on, if you can remember.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've spoken long and long letters, for sure, with Cowboy. I think that Cowboy comes from, and again, I'm not speaking for him. I think I'm just sharing my perspective. Cowboy definitely has a marketing knowledge, operational knowledge that I think is definitely very valuable for the community. Is very valuable for kind of what Ren needs as it scales. And one of the biggest opportunities that he found was, okay, how do we bring this when Moon, when Ren? Why is Ren not mentioned in here? Why is Ren not show by certain people? I think that's sort of where he said, no, listen, I think I can do some stuff. I think oh, and um, he just texted me. He might be able to join in shortly. So we might hear from him directly. But I think high level Cowboy is saying, listen, there's organic ways in which we can promote Ren. We can kind of have a guerrilla approach and a structured approach to it. So that's something that I really think is pretty cool. And he has shown it. Cowboy has shown the actual. Oh, and he's here. Cowboy, I was giving a high level perspective of your RFC, but if I'll let you please, you can do it a lot better than I do, so that would be great.
Hello, everybody.
Hey,
Hey,
High level. Unfortunately, I'm not really in a great place to talk right now. I just hopped on, so I'm not sure exactly where you guys are at.
Okay, well, I mean, if I can try, but I was kind of just speaking, Cowboy, on as we kind of discuss on the organic efforts that and the strategic efforts that your experience brings for marketing, and you've invested some of your capital into trying to place these ads and just seeing the hits and the reception that Ren VM and other keywords can bring. You start seeing a lot of gaps, a lot of opportunities where there's tactical things that can be done to increase awareness, increase the visibility, with the outcome of right, and even that is a key performance indicator, right? Like, to what end do we want to target developers? Do we want to target end users? So that led to a conversation of, well, let's start centralizing this into, let's start consolidating this into specific key performance indicators, and kind of just engage the community through a formal RFC, so that we can then get some feedback, and and iterate, right? It takes multiple iterations. So I just reading over what and I believe Max will be posting it soon.
this is
It's
posted now.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. You are awesome, Max. So what Max has posted is sort of a culmination of, I think, the opportunities that Ren has, and obviously, from the perspective of the tactical approach that Cowboy brings, how specifically we can improve visibility. Now, as far as scope and mission and whatnot of Ren and where is Ren heading and governance, that's a little out of scope for this RFC. But we understand that, and Cowboy has been very forthright on saying, yeah, like, marketing is one function only of the bigger overall, what is Ren and where is Ren going. So that's I think what you'll see in this RFC, where he did a pretty good job of just packaging it all together into saying, okay, this is functionally what this can do marketing wise, and we're open to any feedback. To, hey, free time,
Yeah,
do you think you can mute your sorry, thank you.
I did.
So yeah, that's fine. So do you I think that's the RFC that you guys can see. And I don't know, Cowboy, if I missed something, but I think high level
yeah,
that's sort of what you meant, right?
yeah, for sure. I'm in a better place. I can talk now. Um, yeah, I mean, I think uh, said best. You gotta read the RFC. I spent a lot of time to lay it all out, but yeah, I mean, a big part of the marketing I feel is I think that Ren Labs has done a lot of work over the last few years, and has its own marketing going, and to some extent, I think we can piggyback off of that and help support that marketing. So there's that aspect where we can where I think RenDAO can do a lot to support the existing marketing and amplify it. So there's that aspect. There's an aspect of building out RenDAO and building out the marketing and communication channels for the DAO itself, being the the organization of dark node operators and basically the voting members of the Ren network. And so yeah, I think those are like the two core aspects where where there's maybe a slight differentiation in marketing between what what the overall network needs, and then for communication, like internal communication, internal marketing for uh, our dark node operators and other people who support the network in different ways. But yeah, I'm sorry I didn't get the RFC sooner. Thanks so much, Max, for pushing that through right now. Yeah, I was hoping to get it done a few days ago, and so that people could read it ahead of time.
But we can. I mean, this can be discussed in the next call as well, like when everyone is prepared. But everyone should go out there and read and comment when they have the chance. We could also. I'm not sure if. No, so the announcement channel doesn't announce automatically when a new forum post is out on RFC RIP, but anyone like anyone who has a mod can post it there, I believe. Maybe Seeking, maybe you could post it in there and let folks know.
Only mods can do it. So I tried to, but I couldn't. So I believe that will be West or Sabobi.
Yeah,
He can't.
maybe.
They,
Yeah, maybe West or
I can,
Suburban can do it.
I can build out a quick bot to have anything in the forum kind of repost to a specific channel, just so we can kind of streamline information, even with like a YouTube upload or anything else. So yeah, I'll get that done. That's definitely something that would be needed and useful for everyone.
Yeah, we could have it in the announcements category, but we make it a separate channel called forum posts. But we should probably limit it to RFCs and RIPs and not just
yeah.
anything random that gets posted. Yeah, so we can also just someone makes an announcement about it so people find out about it, so we make sure engagement in the forum keeps up. When we have the new command center up, so we were gonna have a new command center up sooner, but because we've rewritten the dark node client, like the node client thing. It will involve some backend changes to how the command center can connect to dark nodes. So you can withdraw rewards, for instance. So the new command center won't be up yet. It's sort of done, like 95%. But because we're doing the new node client, until that is fully out, we won't release the new command center, unfortunately. But that one will link to the forum as well, I believe. So governance can have an easy place to find any updates, either on Discord or the command center. So you don't have to separately go into the forum and keep track of that as well. So we're trying to simplify those things, but it will still be a little while.
That's wonderful.
I was thinking.
Great.
Sorry, I was thinking actually, if Cowboy and Seeking, if you guys agree, since we do these, weekly, bi-weekly calls with the marketing team, we could do the next call open with the whole community and maybe like have a very brief walkthrough on the RFC, because it is a little bit lengthy and there's a risk that people just don't go through it properly, and we can make it easy and just, highlight the most important parts and get feedback on what the community thinks, maybe start some brainstorming there already, and kind of have a call in combination with it to encourage people to, go through it properly and see what thoughts are out there. And we can do
Yeah,
that.
I think that's a great idea.
That's
Yeah.
perfect. Absolutely. Yep.
We can do it after this call, but could you just let me know like what times are suitable, and then I can just make an announcement in the Read the Latest channel, and also include the details of the call.
Sure.
Perfect.
Yeah. I mean, I'd
Cool.
even be happy to do more than one call, like if it makes
Sorry,
sense,
Kyle,
just
you
because
got cut off there. Maybe just from my side.
I was just saying that yeah, I mean, I think that's a good idea. We can even do like two different calls at different times, just because I mean, even within our own marketing group, we had trouble getting everybody on the same page as far as scheduling. So I know that I mean we're an international organization, people all over the world. So I'd be I'd be fine with doing one at two opposite sorts of times
Yeah, sure.
if it makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, it's good to see Wake 222 here. Hi, Wake. Good, good. Glad to hear that you were able to make it. Good to see you here, buddy. Oh, I think you're muted, but that just wanted to acknowledge you. We love your passion and enthusiasm. Good stuff. So we'll follow up after this call with the times, opposite times. I agree. I think that would be healthy. And yeah, for as far as the marketing is overall very good job. And obviously, Cowboy, public acknowledgement that's mostly you, buddy. So that's a great job overall. Definitely very good organic effort on that
Yeah,
vertical.
well done on that one. Definitely. I can second that.
So anything else on your minds, guys? What do you think about Ren 2.0?
Cannot
Just got a
sleep
lot of
at
reading to
night,
do.
Max.
A lot of catching up, you know.
Yeah. It's even hard for me to keep track of everything that's changing. It's very dynamic internally. Um, things are moving fast, and new designs and ideas, and a lot of things coming up, which as a previous community member, I'm very excited about. I'm still a community member at heart for Ren, even if I'm on the inside now.
Is there anything juicy you can share with us?
I mean, we just released very juicy bits. So, I mean, there are some stuff I know that we haven't been we haven't mentioned yet, but that's very cool and fun. But you guys will see it soon, I think, whenever we've confirmed that it works. Like sometimes, you don't want to say stuff that we're almost certain we can do, but then you're like, but what if there's some roadblock that shows up unexpectedly? So you don't want to say stuff too early, because you can just be hyping stuff that then fails. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I had a question, Max. What very high level from and this would be kind of like from asking you wearing the hat of the team. What are sort of the top two things that excites you all the most? Obviously, we're in a bear market. I think that's not a surprise to anybody. And the fact that the team keeps building, shipping, and we also Jazz's talk, your talk, it's overall obviously very bullish. But high level, is there a particular one or two things that makes you, as a team member, excited, like super excited about Ren? And obviously that will show a little bit of sort of where the focus is or the priority. Obviously, on a personal note, like from you, like your opinion.
Yeah, but it's a very easy thing to answer. I mean, catalog and getting the network decentralized. And yeah, Ren 2.0. So when we have a decentralized network like Ethereum that has its own ecosystem, and then we have catalog in there that helps a lot with liquidity. I mean, we hope that this can grow into like a huge ecosystem over time. That's sort of bootstrapped through liquidity that catalog brings with it. And then, when new projects join, they can utilize this liquidity and build their own user experiences that are sort of native cross-chain. We have a niche here that's pretty unique, and we hope and we plan for, attracting a lot of old developers, who have already built applications that can copy it over onto Ren and then utilize the native cross-chain features, and then also new developers who can think of new use cases that haven't been made or like haven't been invented yet because this native cross-chain support hasn't been there. There's just so much potential here, and with catalog coming in and the like bootstrap liquidity, like that's, I think that will be amazing. And then of course decentralization, like we've been talking about ever since Ren was launched. It's been a big like, yeah, we have to roll this out slowly, but now we're actually, yeah, we're getting there, like for real. The team has been working very hard, and we see stuff in the news about things not being that censorship resistant. So it's also important that we get to that stage where it is censorship resistant, and that's also why the gray core ultimately wouldn't work that well, because it wouldn't be censorship resistant. So getting Ren out there as an independent, there's a word for it, but like Ethereum, like it just works. No one can shut down Ethereum. And when we reach that stage with Ren, then we're in sort of the golden era of Ren, I believe. Like we won't be afraid anymore of, like, nothing can happen. It will continue existing despite whatever the market does and whatever people or stuff try to attack it. We want to get to that stage where it can survive on its own. And we're getting very close now. So that's the two things: catalog and decentralization, and then how the ecosystem can grow on its own. So this year and the next year will be the biggest years for Ren, we hope. Of course, we had a big year when RenVM launched, and we got a lot of liquidity on Curve and all of that. But that's still very basic use cases, and now we're evolving into a much more complex ecosystem, or not complex, but rich. This is where we want to end up, and we're heading there. So I am super excited. Like, regardless of the market does, like, I don't care. I hold my Bitcoin even if Bitcoin crashes, and same with Ren. Like, it doesn't matter. We're building the future of finance.
Yes, I like it. Thank you for sharing that. We share the enthusiasm, and I think, all of us here obviously are here because we believe in it and want to do our part. And thank you. That's exciting. Thank you for answering the question. I'm excited to hear those were the top two things. I would imagine we all share similar sentiments as well.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. Thanks.
Thanks, Max. One other question regarding, quite a few people having issues accessing the Ren project website, and the solution being, changing your DNS or whatnot. because it works on my mobile, but it doesn't work on my laptop.
Yeah, I've
Is
notified the front end team. I'm not sure why that's. It's probably some issue with our hosting provider, Netlify. So we have a front end call tomorrow, and I will bring it up as a top priority to make sure
okay.
it's some kind of DNS, weird DNS thing. Um, so
Perfect. Thank
definitely, we have to get that sorted.
Yeah, because if there is like some workaround that some people need to do, it could be good to like put up a mini guide or something.
There
Because I can
shouldn't.
understand
I mean, there shouldn't have to be a workaround. This it should just be like a website, visiting any website. So
you know?
yeah, we're not. It's not like a decentralized website. It's just a regular website. So yeah,
Is
we're on
that
top of it.
is that something the team has thought about putting like the front end on IPFS or something similar?
Yeah, we thought about it. Like especially like a bridge UI that's on IPFS or something. But there are some tricky things when it comes to bridges because you often it's not like an Aave UI where you're just interacting with a smart contract. You're when you're with a bridge, you're kind of interacting with multiple networks behind the scenes and sort of sending more information than you usually do. So it's a little more tricky putting like RemBridge on IPFS. It's less reliable, but it's something that we're always thinking about. How can I mean, you can fork RemBridge, of course, so anyone can do it, and also other people can host it under a different domain name, whatever. So that's always one opportunity, but then who wants to do that and pay the hosting fees for all of that? But yes, we definitely have thought about it and are thinking about it continually. How can we build reliability for UI? So like the command center is always up, whatever. It can always be accessed. You can always claim fees. We should have that eventually. Just probably technologies like FPS just have to get a little bit more mature, and then we can probably pull it off. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Actually, while you were talking, I was thinking to myself, it would be interesting to see the numbers on how many people actually use IPFS, like the ones who use Uniswap through IPFS and all that, if there is any significant traffic going there. But yeah, in general, just having the option is, I mean, eventually going to be essential.
Yeah.
Especially when times like recently come up with all this OFAC nonsense going on.
Yep. Totally agree.
Nice. There's nothing else from my side. And we can try to keep the calls around 1 hour so people don't feel like they are too lengthy.
Yeah.
Because the West idea is to have these relatively frequently, right?
Yeah, absolutely. My idea was to kind of normalize these times to every 2 weeks, and then depending on whatever everyone felt was important, we could do like have some action items right from every meeting, and then hopefully as these other groups grow, potentially integrate like updates from them in these meetings so they can kind of keep the DAO up to date. And I think these would probably be the most attended, and so kind of just invite people to those other what branches. But yeah, that's kind of the ideas I had for this. And from joining in late, it sounds like that's kind of where it's going. So yeah, that's really the updates I had.
Something really quick. I mean, obviously, we all believe in Ren and what it can do for the world, and especially those that are underrepresented in the financial systems. With the recent regulations, specifically in the United States, can anyone speak to? I think people are nervous a little bit to speak out about certain things, for fear of retribution. Um, I think we all know that Ren is on a path to help a lot of people all around the world. Can anyone comment on that end of things and how Ren is maybe getting ahead of that?
Yeah, I mean, so decentralizing the protocol, that's the primary means to, make it open to everyone. Can't say, like, I don't know how the US regulators will keep fighting the crypto ecosystem, but we have powerful and rich people in crypto that are fighting against it and stuff like that. For us on Ren, like, just decentralizing the protocol, putting the GitHub control under a foundation that's Swiss, that provides a lot of protection for the protocol, or sort of IP at least. So yeah, the foundation is important, and decentralizing the network, those are the two main things. And then, also the DAO. The more independent the DAO becomes, the better, at least from a regulatory point of view. So that's also a thing, and that's why I appreciate all of you being here and engaging and taking initiative to make proposals and all that. It's exactly what we need.
Max, to Michael's point, Michael, that's a great question. Adding to it, I guess, is there anything you can speak to as far as maybe the level of support, and not in detail, just are there limits, or maybe if there's no limits, just how much support there is from Alameda and from Ren Labs, so that Ren Foundation happens? Is it limited? Is it, is there how important is that process from a financial and from a kind of legal support wise? Are you guys getting a lot of support for it? Just kind of, obviously the landscape is is evolving, is fluid. It would be nice to know if the support is quite a bit, right? Quite a lot. But I don't know if you can even share high level, maybe try to share some of that.
Yeah, but as was sort of written out in the tweet, the Jazz Institute are working with Alameda and setting up the foundation. So the support is all there. Like, Alameda wants Ren decentralized, we want Ren decentralized. So there's there's full alignment there.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Good to hear that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I guess with that, Max, as well, when they are hopefully fully decentralized, will Alameda still be supporting Ren Labs?
Yeah, I mean, they're sort of invested in Ren Labs, you could say. Like, I don't know the full details behind that, but they're investors sort of in catalog, and anytime Ren Labs wants to maybe launch a new service or whatever, Alameda is probably right there wanting to get in. So, but I can't speak for what they want exactly. But Alameda, while everyone calls them like sharks and all of that, they are very supportive to us, and they want crypto to succeed, and they want us to succeed. So it's not like they're just trying to milk money in the space. They benefit from crypto succeeding and Ren succeeding, and we benefit from that. So whatever reputation Alameda might have, they are supporters of the space and us. And if there's an opportunity for them to make money by investing in the Ren ecosystem, of course they will be there. They have our details, so yeah. But I can't speak for Alameda, so of course.
That's good to hear, though. And I guess that was going to ask the other thing. I know you can't speak specifically about it, but other projects that are potentially building on Ren. I know before there was rumors of Ditto stablecoins, and is it mainly just catalog now, or there's still other experimental projects being thought about and being built?
So the only thing I can say from Ren Lab side is, catalog is the thing. Whether things will be explored in the future, I mean, that's until we feel like we're in a spot where we want to announce something, we would. But I can't say anything right now because the full focus on by the Ren Labs right now is Ren and catalog. We're not focusing on anything else at the moment, because these things, catalog is key to the Ren ecosystem, getting it bootstrapped. So yeah, that is the main focus.
Cool. Thanks for that, Max.
Perfect. Thank you, Max.
Free time, you had a question, so let's see. I'll unmute you quickly, but I also have to go and make dinner. So yeah, quick question. You're unmuted
hear me?
now. You can hear. Yeah, we can hear you.
Hi guys. So I have a short question to the last 2.0 Ren article. So how is Ren different from all the other layer 1 platforms, and how does it want to stay out and not be a copier of Ethereum? So everyone wants to build a layer 1, yes, but how want to stand Ren out?
I mean, you could in a sense watch our talks on EFCC as well to get an overview, but it's not like the Ren 2.0 is not intending to compete with other layer ones. It wants to aggregate chains and aggregate liquidity across chains and aggregate chains themselves. So while we have an application layer, you need an application layer on top of Ren to sort of then be able to use all the chains that are sort of connected up to Ren. So any kind of application where you want to aggregate liquidity across chains, that's where Ren can solve that problem. That's where Ren provides you with those tools to have an application that aggregates across chains. So it's not like we're trying to take liquidity from other chains and put them on Ren. We can simply connect up to those pools and route through Ren to do any kind of financial activity, because we will have EVM support, at least in the beginning, and maybe other kinds of frameworks in the future as well. So it's not a layer 1, like we're not building another layer 1 that's supposed to compete with them. We're not building an Ethereum competitor. We're building a layer 0, more layer 0 in that sense, that we're trying to aggregate chains themselves. But you have this application layer that you can build stuff on, because you need something to deploy on to then be able to use all the other chains. So that's why Ren is both a layer 1, but it's also a layer 0. So you have to think of it in that way. While we have EVM support, it's there so you can aggregate the other chains in one place. Yeah.
Thanks.
Max, and on that note, on the L0, L1, can you maybe share a little bit on the back end of, what you're saying is truly cutting edge, and it's a game changer, and I think it starts the next level of evolution for Web3 and what it can become. I can also imagine there's probably a lot of outreach that has to be done to developers to show them, hey, this is what we're working on, this is what's possible. is Ren Labs actively reaching out, or kind of, on the back end? And I know you alluded to this on the on previously, but in all these events, in Europe, in South Korea, I think Jazz went there. How much outreach is there right now to builders from Ren Labs to say, hey guys, this is what's coming. It's good. It's the next big thing, or is it mostly not much outreach now, rather just working laser focus on catalog, letting catalog rise, and then doing this outreach? Can you maybe speak a little bit to that, if you don't mind?
Yeah, so just quickly now before I have to get my dinner. Yes, the outreach is sort of ramping up right now. We have to, I mean, yes, catalog is sort of one key example that we will continually be pointing to as what you can build on sort of Ren layer. But so yeah, we're starting up. We're going to go to more events. So EFCC was one, and we talked to people there. Jazz was right now at South Korea Blockchain Week. We're planning to, visit much more conferences going forward, meeting developers, other projects, and writing more content. It will, writing content on Ren Layer 2 is sort of still a bit tricky when it's not complete yet, but we definitely, we're working on it, and sort of doing things as we can, reaching out as we can. So yeah, I mean, definitely we're working on that, and whatever the DAO can do is also fantastic. It would be very supportive. Anytime we make a post, if that can be amplified by Ren Community, that's great. We'll continually be working on making more content that can be shared, and meeting developers in real now that COVID sort of is hopefully will end soon. I got COVID at EFCC, but I won't be able to get it once more, I hope. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely going out to more events and stuff.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that. And it's very exciting to hear that not only what's coming, but that Ren Labs is kind of, highlighting the product, right? And I think that getting builders is a game changer, particularly visionary, right, folks? So from Ren DAO, we obviously are doing our part, and thank you for being here. We don't want to keep you from eating your dinner, so thanks for making time, Matt.
Yeah,
We
thank you
appreciate that.
guys. I did start a recording like 15 minutes too late, like 8:50. So I do have a recording that hopefully works. So I will upload that unless someone has a better recording that we can use. Maybe Arvi did, but no, you're not on your PC right now. But so I'll try to upload what I have to YouTube. So thank you
Perfect.
guys.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Have a good one, Max.
yeah.
All right,
I leave,
exciting
you can
times.
continue.
Thanks so much. Have a good dinner.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.